I'm from Melbourne and we're big drinkers, the Aussies and the Kiwis together. I really believe that it's the thinking before the drinking that's the problem. So a lot of the concerning drinking, it's not done in bars and cafes. Generally, it's done in the home. So it goes under the radar. How much is too much? Well, everybody knows when it's too much.
Yeah, but at the time, not so much. It is the end of Dry July and many people will reach for a drink, maybe 10, to celebrate. What if you want to try and keep up your good habits? What advice do you have to people who've had a month off?
Well, what's interesting about people who abstain for a period of time, they will have great plans to decide, right, now I'm only going to have 2 glasses of wine every day for whatever. If they generally had drunk more before that Dry July month, they tend to go to default. And what I'm saying is my program or my seminars are about training your brain and body to think differently about yourself before you drink. And I mean, this is really what's happening is nobody likes a hangover. Nobody likes to feel terrible about their drinking. And sometimes that guilty drinking makes you drink more.
So you're saying it's not about thinking about the drinking as such or getting excited about a night out or getting FOMO, fear of missing out. It's actually about how you think about yourself.
Yeah, I work with emotional conditioning. Why are you drinking the way you do? I mean, a lot of people firstly drink quick. The first one's medicinal. It's like, oh, I've got to have this drink. They don't understand that the mind, which is where I work, thinks that the alcohol is giving them a good fix. And that's because it turns down the critical part of the brain, stressed or bored, or it could be anxious. And a lot of, financial stress, demands on life that we didn't have necessarily before are prominent now.
So you're saying the drinking doesn't help that?
Well, what's interesting, the neuroscientists discovered that when you drink alcohol, the critical part of the brain shuts down. And that's why people get hooked. It's not the alcohol itself. And that's what I treat, is I train people's minds to actually reduce their anxiety, reduce their stress levels before they drink so they don't have to drink with that intensity.
You've outlined 3 sort of different personalities that may lead someone to be a problem drinker. Can you explain those?
Sure. Well, the first one is the inner critic. Now, we all have an inner critic. It might say you were terrible in that meeting this morning, or, your kids think you drink too much, or whatever it is. And the irony is it tends to make you drink more. And what I'm saying is, it doesn't mean that you don't have any willpower. What the mind does, the inner critic, that negative part of the brain, when we drink, dopamine is increased in the body and the brain, and that negativity and that stress goes away. And people love the freedom. It gives them a bit of a reprieve. And what I'm saying, of course, until the morning when you wake up at 3 in the morning, you think, oh my God, why did I drink so much? But what I do is I help people to stop that negative thinking before it takes hold and takes them into the alcohol zone.
And also there was another one, perfectionism.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, the perfectionist is the all or nothing person. They're either drinking or not drinking. So they're really good at Dry July, but they tend to be the big binge drinker. The bell doesn't ring and they've had too much to drink. They drink quickly because they're high achievers. Perfectionists are literally either achieving something to 100% or deciding I've had too much, I just need to get away from myself and drink too much.
Are there some people who just can't fix, that maybe you need to stop for good?
Look, I believe there are certain people who need to go the abstaining. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm talking about the middle ground of drinkers who have got themselves into a bit of a tricky situation. And the other personality is the pleaser. The pleaser is the nurturer, the looker after, and they tend to have low self-esteem, and they will tend to be a regular heavy drinker. They won't actually have alcohol-free days. The mother nurture of life. Doesn't have to be female role, of course. But, a pleaser then, sadly, when they drink too much, they can actually, communicate what they really want, what they really want to say.
Oh, the darks. Yes, I understand now. This is your book, Georgia Foster. The book is called Drink Less in 7 Days, and we might get you to sign this and give it away.
Yeah, well, I'm also running seminars in Auckland and Wellington in 2 weeks' time as well, if anybody wants to come.